Hi everyone, in this video I'll be super cleaning my Corvette and showing you how to do some paint correction and wax. Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel about building a kit car, Corvettes, I like the ring of that, and other car topics. If you like what you see, please subscribe and hit the notification buttons below and share with others on social media. I have my newly acquired 50th anniversary collector's edition Corvette. And as you've seen in the last video, the first thing I did was fix a safety issue. One of the headlights was not working. But now it is time to see what this paint job is really going to look like after it is corrected. Now, do not get me wrong, this car looks like the paint is in great shape from afar, but as you get closer, there's a white haze fog across the top of the paint. And I am hoping that I'll be able to remove this haze and bring this thing to look like the first day it was bought off the showroom. So the first thing I'm going to do is super clean the car. Now, if you're not familiar with ChrisFix, he's a great YouTuber with processes that are great for certain things like super cleaning your car or engine bay. In this case, this car is not disgusting on the outside, but since I'm going to do paint correction, and this is the first wash I'm doing on the car, I'm going to use a simplified super clean technique. So you start out with a power wash to get rid of sitting grime and dirt. Nothing too harsh, but strong enough to do the job. Then in this case, dish soap to really remove anything off the car like old wax and grime. It is not a necessity to have thick foam. Just having enough soap will do the job. But foam will allow the soap to stay in one place longer so it can react with the grime. This car is not that dirty. Now a nice microfiber hand wash starting from the top down so you don't bring dirt from the bottom of the car and grind it into the paint at the top of the car. Then a nice rinse and a microfiber towel dry. Now I bring it in and get some light on the car. You could already see it looks shiny, but again there is a fog on top of the paint that I need to remove. I also want to start with the major scratches first. This will allow me to tread lightly and kind of see how the paint reacts. This reminds me of a story of back when I was in college. I bought some generic compound number 7 and I buffed out my car and it looked amazing. And then all of a sudden 6 months later, paint started falling off the car in chips and I must have ground off the clear coat right off the car. And back then this was all by hand. I didn't have a power tool. And you also have to remember, there was no internet, there was no how-to, there was nothing back then except trial and error. And so that was a big error, so I know when it comes to stuff like this, I always want to tread lightly and make sure, I see how the paint reacts before I move forward. And believe me, that will never happen again. So I start out using a flashlight and hitting the car from all sorts of angles to look for blemishes. Then by hand, I'm using Grio's Complete Compound. It is basically an all-in-one instead of a 3-step process. I use this with a microfiber towel to get a scratch out. Once I have that done, I'm using an orbital buffer with light pressure with the Complete Compound to do a once-over on the whole car. From wash through buffing, we are talking about 2 hours to complete. And then I'm using Grio's Polywax. Out of all the waxes they have, I really like this one, and it will last a good 6 months. And when you touch it, it's like glass. I've never felt a car feel so smooth before using this stuff. The car just gleams afterwards. I use it on all my vehicles. You know, a lot of people are using the new ceramic coatings for $100 to $300 for a few ounces. And some people hype it like you could try to crash a car into your coating and it will magically just bounce off. No, it's not going to bounce off, but it might last 2 years compared to 6 months, which means you only get 1.5 hours less labor in those 2 years. The Polywax costs $20 and will last a long time. I personally could use the exercise and a few hundred in my pocket. Maybe if I was mud bogging with a truck, it would be worth it. So after I got done with the whole process, a week later I noticed I missed a few spots. Mainly because the passenger side of the car was not lit as well as the driver's side. When doing this type of work, lighting is key. So I did a quick rinse, pulled the car in to correct the half-inch section that was missed along the top of the car. I was working in the engine bay, and I have some nice soft workout sweatpants that I was wearing on purpose to protect the paint as I leaned across the bay, but having my keys in my pocket still caused a mark. This one I was able to catch on camera. I used compound a few times and took it in steps. Then wash with soap, and then polywax the area, and good as new. Till next time, please hit the subscribe and notification buttons, and have a great day.